Yeah, Representative.
Thank you, Chairman. So you raised an issue that has come up over the last few years, especially after Trump was elected and started talking a lot about people being deported after previous legislation that this House has dealt with. And so my question is, and we've also worked closely with domestic violence shelters, and one of the big issues that came up is that a lot of women survivors of domestic violence or victims did not want to report to the police, period, because of their concerns. So even if law enforcement, chooses to arrest or not under this statute, the fact that this statute could potentially be in play, individuals will not even call the police. They will not want to call. Like, we've seen it. I've had town halls in our community with hundreds of families lining up in 2017, worried about what they need to do if they are stopped by the police. And it has taken law enforcement in our community years to try to build back those community police relationships so that people come forward and report crime. So I think that's what you're speaking to, is a fear that is going to be in the community, that already is, even when we're talking about legislation like this, and them even reporting to law enforcement. Law enforcement that I've talked to has told me that they want, that this is going to be damaging to police-community relationships. So is that what you're speaking to?
Yeah, that's better said than I think I said it. I mean, honestly, let's just imagine that this is mostly enforced at the border. The laws existing will send a chilling effect across Texas.
And we've seen that before.
I also believe that if the law is not limited, we will see enforcement of this in different regions and counties. There's nothing keeping a peace officer approaching a construction site, a cleaning crew, a landscaping crew, people who are doing hard work that our U.S. Native individuals do not want to do, and then being asked these questions to build probable cause for an arrest and a removal to the border. So,
and my last question for you is, because you're an immigration law expert, as you said, it's really complex to determine an immigration status, and it's taken months sometimes. And so if we're an officer to make an immigration determination, or like right at the beginning, is going to be very difficult, correct?
I'm not familiar with what type of communications on a scene happen between local law enforcement and our federal authorities, because the federal authorities are the ones that they too often take time to investigate, because sometimes information is with the Department of Justice, the Department of State, the Department of Homeland Security, so that can take time. But I think that kind of apprehension and the idea, okay, we know enough, let's move this person quickly to the border, could be very problematic and time consuming. It often takes us quite a bit of investigation and looking at paperwork. Just thinking about language differences. Most of the paperwork immigrants receive is in English. Many people speak Spanish, but we're working with arrivals that speak many different languages, indigenous languages, and across the world. So that kind of communication barriers, law enforcement officers doing the right thing, working in good faith, could also make some grave mistakes here.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it.